Good morning. How are we doing today? My name is James Sweeney, aka SplitSuit. Welcome back to another video. And today I want to run through page number 93 with you in the Postflop workbook and show you kind of a very weird spot. And just in case you see the answers, you're like, what in the heck is going on here? I wanted to explain what is going on in Flopzilla when we're looking at the center section versus the pie chart section and what's kind of going on if you get some weird numbers in there. So let's hack through it and go through this together. Alright, so I have everything set up in Flopzilla already. I have their range, I have the first board, so the King, Queen, 10 rainbow flop. We have no known hole cards for ourselves. And if we were to go through this and do the single color method, so just adding everything up cumulatively, we could get the right answers very easily, right? So overpair plus is going to be, 9.6, so call it 10%, and then we could go for top pair plus, and now we're up to 17%, and continue onward and onward. And middle pair plus up to 25, open to straight draw or better means include all those pairs and open to straight draws. In this case, that's 50, and any gut shot or better, so include those gut shots too. And now we're up to 76. Okay. So we could do that, but if you were to check the answer key, you notice that things look a little bit different, right? Top pair at 11%, that's different than the 17 we just calculated. 11, different than the 25%, and so on and so on. Yes, the any gut shot plus is the same because it's including all the other stuff, but there's obviously something weird going on when it comes to the top pair plus stuff, middle pair plus stuff, and the open-ended straight draw plus stuff. And I want to explain kind of what's going on in this scenario, just in case you ever run into the same problem. And it doesn't happen a tremendous amount of time, at least not with like this level of discrepancy, but it's something that differs between using the pie chart and using the pie chart with a multicolor method versus using a single color method. So let's actually clear all this out and we'll restart, and I'll show you what's going on here. So we're going to build the overpair plus stuff in blue, and no problem so far, still gets us our 10%. But now we're going to use green to choose the top pair stuff. We're going to use red to now include the middle pair stuff. Open-ended straight draw plus, that's going to include open-ended straight draws and everything better than that. So pocket pairs below the board, bottom pair, pocket pair below second card, and we'll use orange to include the gut shots. Now, if we were to take this number right this moment, you notice that we still get the same selection down below, right? 76% is still for any gut shot or better. So that's no problem. And we even saw that the overpairs, right, all that was totally no problem as well. But things are a little bit different at this stage in the game, because if we look at the green, right, instead of adding the blue plus the green, which before gave us 17%, now you notice that we have a much lower number, right? We're like 10, 11%. So what's going on here? Well, the issue is that a lot of the top pair combinations are going to be made how, right? Things like King Jack. Well, that's not only top pair, but it's also an open-ended straight draw. So where does it go? It doesn't just go into top pair. It actually gets put into the bottom section. It gets put into the purple. I'm sorry, the pinkish color. So the combination that before was going strictly there is now getting shoved down here. And if we were to look at something like Ace 10, well, it doesn't really fit into top pair plus, but you get the idea, right? There's King Jack, there's King 9, so King 9 doesn't get thrown into top pair, it gets thrown into the gut shot, because there's a gut shot attached with it, which is why we can get these kind of weird discrepancies here. So it's important, if you ever see something that looks really weird between doing a single color method and a multi-group method, is kind of slow down and first do a single color and see what's going on, especially when we're doing like cumulative stuff like we are here. And then start thinking about, okay, the combinations that are making up in this situation, say a top pair, what's going on there, right? Because in this situation, the only thing getting counted as top pair is King 8 suited. All the other combinations are being counted as a gut shot because they have a gut shot plus a pair. And whether or not you agree with that or disagree with that methodology, that's what's happening in this exact situation. Now, maybe Flopzilla will change that over time. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think it matters all that much as long as you understand what's happening and understand how to discern the information. So in the actual workbook itself, when you look at the answer key is derived from the pie chart itself. So for certain ones like this, right, we said 17 when we did single color, but this is actually 11. And when we do middle pair plus, it's actually the exact same thing, right? We're doing this 9.6 plus roughly 2 and still comes out to roughly 11 when you're rounding downward. So this is the way that you can understand what's happening here when you're using multi-group. And when you're talking about very, very connected flops, especially one where there's like very minimal gaps between all three cards, you're going to find more and more of this, where there's like a bigger discrepancy between the multi-group method and the single color method. So hopefully that helps, at least if you ever run into this kind of thing when you're doing your own exploration. Again, there's not like a ton to discern from this strategically speaking. It's more to understand what's being discerned from the data. Because if you were to look at the answer key in this situation and say, okay, well, this range on a king, queen, 10 rainbow board only has top pair plus 11% of the time, you'd think, oh my goodness, I could see about this like a ton of the time, and they would just fold, especially if I like maybe overbet or whatever, something like that. Or middle pair plus only 11%. Oh my goodness, I could just like completely go to barrel town here, minimum c-bet, if not go crazy on it. But if you're not understanding what's happening in the pie chart, it's very easy to take this data and make some very, very bad strategic changes based upon it. So that's why I want to kind of just make this very quick video, explain what's happening, and hopefully shed some insight when it comes to looking at the two methodologies of doing this kind of exercise and making your own kind of exploration later, running through your own hands, trying to look at spots and do some off-table work. Make sure that you're slowing down and thinking about where those combos are being added into, especially if you're using the multicolor method. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, as always, good luck out there and happy grinding.